Hey, all right. Just increasing the bit rate on the video, just make sure that we're stable and we're looking pretty good. Just gonna fix up a couple of these screens. So I've got everything in one place. Cool. Can't shrink that anymore. So I'll shrink it down that way. Awesome. Cool. Just want to keep that YouTube live up just to make sure that I can see everything in case we get a warning. Headphones. Cool. All right. So, where are we up to? Uh, so I did a little bit of debugging. Nothing crazy. Just fixed up I think it was the footer. Yep. So as you can see, we've got the list items here indented, and everything is married up on flex start there. When we drag everything over, that will then change to be centered, and centered. So that's fixed. And the way I fixed that was just a media query. Everything else is sorted. We pretty much finished up the about section. I did want to do something with the cards on this section, but for now I think we'll just leave it as is. So I can continue to move forward, and then I can polish everything once we've got the last few components hooked up, and that will be the blog, the portfolio, and also log in, log out functionality along with user registration. So we'll have to mess around with JWT tokens, Axios, and the Django REST framework. So I will be working on the backend today. So I do actually already currently have a backend pretty much created, just with the apps and whatnot inside here. So look, it's just pretty standard. There's nothing amazing right now. We've just got our API there. We've got our blog, which so the API will host all the URLs and the serializers for everything. The blog will host the model for the blog posts. We won't utilize any URLs because we'll be getting it all through the API URLs. Users, I've created a custom user model. So basically, I just wanted to extend the functionality, have it so people can log in with their email address. And a few other bits and pieces, but right now we've just got email address, username that's already in there, and I have connected. I've also created some forms to create these custom users and change any details of the user, and then displaying that in the admin panel, the Django admin panel. And I've had to add some fields here for when we create users to include the email in that form. So to show you all this working, just make sure we are in our virtual environment, and yes we are, and we're in our folder, yes we are. So you can just type in Django, sorry, hold on, jeez, Python manage.py run a server. let that spin up. We'll open that up in a new tab and we'll navigate to our admin panel. And as you can see, we're already logged in. I was having a bit of a play around before, created 2 users, Ashley and Caitlin, just using fake emails and passwords. And yeah, so here we can see we've got the additional fields there for email. First name, last name are already standard, and a few other bits and pieces. There was one little bug that I noticed when I created a user in the admin panel, whereas the last login didn't actually work because as you, hold on, let's have a look and see if it will work. What was it? Caitlin at gmail.com, and the password was see if this works. Nope. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, that didn't work. I'll just quickly create another user. Because in the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, when you create a super user in the admin, in the terminal, you are able to negate the restrictions that they place on passwords, just making them more secure. But when you actually do it in the admin panel, it won't give you that option. So I'm just going to create another user. The email, so it has validation for the email. So if the email is not unique, it won't allow you to create a new user. So just do bbb@gmail.com. Username will be bbb. And password will be bbb 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And bbb 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Let's give that a go. Awesome. I'll save that. Log out. I think I may have bbb. What's the email? That's gmail.com. bbb 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. What is going on? Just making sure everything's not. bbb 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Alright, something's going on there. Unless they can't actually get into here because they're not super users. Let's have a look. Python .py creates super user. Email will be aa@gmail.com. Username will be AAA. Password will be AAA 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. AAA 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yes, that's fine. And it would help if I restarted the server. Cool. Yeah, I think it has the staff status is the issue I'm having here. Just going to quickly change the password of this one. Hold on. BBB. Yeah. And I'm gonna make it A. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. A. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. A. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. B. A. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. B. And we've got a issue here. See if I can quickly Google this, see what's up with this. I think I know what I'm going to do. Just going to quickly, always settings, make sure our user model is defined. I'm actually going to just delete the database because there's nothing in there right now. Yes. I think that's not working because we're tying it up here. Try this again, delete, and I need to go to, where is it? Migrations. Maybe that was the reason why. Python manage .py make migrations. Complaining something in my models, which should be in users. That's an email field. Not sure what's going on about there. It's definitely not there. Python. So go to admin, auth, permission, username. Okay. Manage.py. Run server. Now this shouldn't work. I just want to make sure. It's complaining that there's no table, custom users. There's a table, custom users. This is frustrating because this was working before. User, users, custom user. Just gonna quit out of this just for a sec. Open up a new window. Open up the folder and get the folio backend. See if this works with a fresh terminal. Pip innerv yeah, shell. Cool. Now still complaining about this. Damn. What do I create? There was something I was writing before, which was this one, which was run sync database. Try that again. Yeah, well, there we go. Let's try that again. So I'm just going to make migrations again. It shouldn't do anything. And just migrate. It shouldn't do anything. It's then Python py run on server. Cool. And so there we go. So let's try, I think it was aaa at gmail.com, which I don't think is going to work. aaa 1 2 3 4 5 6 aaa. Oh no. bbb. And it didn't work as expected. Let's try one more. One, two, three, four, five, six. Cool. So let's close this. Python manage.py create super user ash aaa at gmail.com. aaa 1 2 3 4 5 6 1 2 3 4 5 6. Yes. Cool. Run our server again. Yay. Cool. All right, just wanted to try one thing before we get into it. And I just want to do bbb@gmail.com, bbb 1 2 3 4 5 6 aaa, bbb 1 2 3 4 5 6 aaa. Cool. Thanks. Log out. Log in again. bbb. So gmail.com. It was bbb 1 2 3 4 5 6 aaa. Yeah, it's not working. I have no idea why that's not working. bbb@gmail.com. bbb 1 2 3 4 5 6 aaa. Yeah, so whenever I create a new user, I'm going to assume that it's looking up into a different table for some reason, because before I deleted the database, but I think I've broken something, because usually there's like a migrations folder as well, that has all of the migrations, but that's disappeared as well. So I'm going to have a look and see what the situation is for that, even whether it's just it might actually just be because it doesn't have a migrations folder. Maybe I accidentally destroyed the folder instead of the file before, and it looks like I think I might have been right. Yeah, I did. I stuffed up. Just going to delete this. Migrations, get rid of that init. Trying to delete the whole damn file. Make migrations. Migrate. Going to create another user. aaa@gmail.com. Yeah. 1 2 3 4 5 6. 1 2 3 4 5 6. Oops. All right. 1 2 3 4 5 6. 1 2 3 4 5 6. Yes. I need to run the server. Let that send. Yes. And then one more time. bbb@gmail.com. bbb 1 2 3 4 5 6 aaa. bbb 1 2 3 4 5 6 aaa. Cool. Log out. Go away. bbb gmail.com. bbb 1 2 3 4 5 6 aaa. And it's still not working. I think there's something going on with the database. From memory, I don't have a database viewer. From memory. Anyway, I can play with that later. I don't need that right now. But I can get in with the AAA. I just say that it's reading it from the wrong table, which I can fix up later. So anyway, custom user model, a little bit broken, but I can fix that. That's fine. So let's actually get into what I'm going to be doing today. So need to create a blog model so we can actually store all the data for the blog post. I need to confirm the user model works, which it does not. So I'm going to just leave that blank. Add the Django REST framework, bring in that module. The course headers module, bring that in as well. Add the blog API views so that when we go to forward slash or localhost just forward slash API, we actually get the data that we specify at that that base URL for the API. Then we'll use that for testing purposes. We'll just have to use the forward slash API for now, but we'll actually create proper URLs for it. So like for blog posts and all the rest of it, authentication, refresh token, all that stuff. Add and connect all the URLs. Add the blog API serializers, so to connect everything, connect the models up to the serializers so I can pass it through the Django REST framework. Add the blog app to the Django admin, create some fake blog posts just so we have some data actually in there, and then add Axios to we'll import the module and then work on the front end to actually display those blog posts on the blog page. Now I'm choosing to go with Axios over Fetch. I haven't fully gone into it yet, but a lot of the developers that I follow suggest that over Fetch because apparently it's more powerful for whatever reason. I need to look into that. There you go. Add that to my research. So why is Axios better than Fetch? So have a look and see why that is. But it's, from memory, it's sort of the same, sort of similar syntax. So yeah, so that's it. So let's first create our blog model. So where are we? API, we don't want that. Blog, there we go. Blog models, cool. So let's bring in our model. So first thing is we need to actually give or create a class. And I've got in a similar project a SaaS that I'm working on the side as well. That I'm going to rely on just to quickly get this syntax. Where is it? Models. There we go. All right. So yeah, we need to create a class, and we need to pass in. We need to pass in models.model, and then fill in all of our fields. So if we create our class, and we'll call this blog posts, and then we'll pass in models dot models. It's just model, sorry. Models dot model. Bad. And so what do we want for our model? So each blog post will have, each blog post will obviously have, I need to think about this because I actually haven't implemented a model for blog posts before. I'm just thinking how I want to actually set it up. So obviously it has a title, a description. We did talk about including the meta description in there as well. How that would actually work, I don't think it's going to be an issue because I'm going to be doing the snapshot thing. That's another thing that I have to look up because a lot of the decisions I'm making are based around this. But how to take snap shots in React for Google Bot. I'll have a look at that tonight. So let's just start with the basics. How about we just go, we'll just make a blog title, or blog post. Blog post title equals, I think it's models dot char field, and we want I think it's max length equals max length of this, maybe 100 characters, maybe. Let's go. Blog. So 600 should be fine. So we'll make that 100 required. Yes. And how was I doing that? Yeah, true. I think I did that in this one. No, that was unique. There was a required field. I don't think that these ones have required. Django model fields. Blank. Primary key. Field type. Default. Unique. Yeah, I don't think they have default. No, what do I need default? No, sorry, getting confused here. Turn the blog. All right, so that I think it's blank. Yeah, it's blank equals false. So we don't want to allow, not JavaScript, because we don't want to allow it to be blank. That's what I was trying to think of. And for the sake of that's null equals false. Cool. So that's our title. We then want to have our blog post description, and same thing, we can just bring this over. Copy, paste. I'm going to make this a little bit longer. We'll just make this 200. Actually, let's just go to Google, type something in, because this is plenty what we've got here. So look at this. Duplicate that because we're probably going to need it again. Yeah, 200. Cool. 200. We don't want an image. blog post image, set that equal to model dot image fields. Let's have a look at the image field documentation. Image fields, upload to, heights, width, max length, options. No, that's all fine. We just need to specify upload to. And we will make this upload to, we'll upload this to images, and then blog post. Images, and I believe that needs to be a string. Cool. We also need to just quickly, while I think about it now, add, should be fine. I'll just copy over here. Need to add the media URL. Copy that. I need to add a file called media. Sorry, folder. Media. And within that folder, I'm going to create another folder called blog post images, like so. I'm also going to create a folder called static. And the reason why I want to do that is because when we put it in production mode, all the static files, so the CSS files and that for the Django admin are going to be placed in that folder once we run the command collect static. So we just need to quickly add these couple of lines up in here. This is the same v. So we've got our media URL. Media, yep, media. So base one for that is media. I believe that'll work. No, that one's like that, and it's like that. Cool. Just need to make sure that that works, and we need to import OS for that as well. Import OS. OS. Cool. So that's that. I just want to quickly test that out in 1 second, but we're just going to do a define double under string. Oops. It's basically what I wanted anyway. But let's return. I believe it's self dot. Self dot, whatever the name we want. And I'll make that the blog post title. So basically what this will do is when we actually go into our the Django admin, once we register it in there, when it shows us a list of all the bits and pieces like it did for the users before, it'll actually show the blog post title instead of the, I think it's the ID or PK or whatever. So yeah, so that's cool. And And we've also got this, the meta as well, which handles plurals and all the rest of it. Like so, and then we could just have title. Right. Now I will, so that's all completed. Now I just need to go in to the admin. Which I believe I think you can do it for each one. I've never actually used two apps with an admin. It's always been in its own core, and the apps have had other functionality. But I'm going to try it anyway and see what happens. So coming to admin, we just need to bring in our model, and then we need to no, we don't need to do that. We just need to register it. Where's my admin for this? Yeah, we just need to register it. We don't need to do all this fancy stuff. So if I stop getting lost and bring in from dot models, import, I think it was blog. Oh, I hope it's not blog posts. Yeah, it is. Blog posts. Cool. Blog posts. And then we want to do admin dot site dot register, and we want to register blog posts. Save that. Get out of this. For some reason I was running Python. We want to migrate, make migrations. Make sure we're in our virtual environment. And make our migrations. Migrate. And I just realized what's going on. I haven't actually added our blog to our settings. And I have not, no users there. So we'll do blog. Image fields upload to argument must be a relative path, not an absolute path. That's cool. We can change that. We can do dot save. Okay, we need pillow. So we want to do pip env shell, so it saves it to our pip lock file. Pillow. Let that run. Pip freeze. Why didn't that work? Oh, jeez. ppmv install. Cool. Now we want to run our migrations. Make migrations. Beautiful. And then migrate. Beautiful. And then run our server. Beautiful. All right, so if I head over, reload this bad boy, I think I'm gonna just quickly change this. Blog post. Just gonna make sure it's right. I am not the best speller, it's not the strongest. Yep, that's fine. Blog posts. Save. I'm pretty sure. No, that should be fine. Just make sure. Blog post. Cool. So we can head over and we can try and add a blog post. Let's call it, this is a blog post. And I'm just doing this just to make sure this image file works. And then let's try and get some Lauren Ibsen. I think that's how it should pick it up. Nope. There we go. Copy that. Paste that bad boy in. Choose a file. I'm actually going to choose one of the thumbnails here and save. It didn't break. Awesome. So we got that. This is a blog post. That's the title. Let's check to make sure our media. Oh no. So it saved it in images, and I'm gonna have a guess that that has to something to do with this. No, media. Model. Images, blog post, images. No, that did do it. Yeah, no, sorry. I see what I've done there. Let's get rid of this. Oops. Save. I think we're going to have to migrate this. Quick one. Migrate. On server. Let's try this again. Delete that. Let's do it out. Blog post images. Blog post images. Let's create a new one. Oh, wow, our blog post. Description, yeah, image in there again. Save that, saved, very good. Media, blog post images, beautiful, it worked, it's awesome. All right, so obviously our blog post is going to be pretty useless without any content. So this is a little bit of crossroads. This is some more research from myself. So I need to figure out how to, so I understand that I need to use Markdown to easily present the content, which is fine. But I need to work out how to actually pass that data to the front end, whether it be in a file or in just plain text, and then it converts it through the browser. So work out if I should be serving Markdown by file or by plain text. So have a look at that. Right now, I'm just going to do plain text, just so I can keep this ball rolling, so not watching me look up that for the next 2 hours. So we've got our title, we've got our description. We also will want what that post is about. I'm not sure what they call that. What is it? I think it's tags or something like that. Categories, something like that. I forget what they use. Categories. Yes, categories. Best way to add search to blog posts. Something like that. So I don't think keywords is the best. But this has got to do with SEO. I'm going to go with keywords right at this second. Blog post key. No. Blog post search terms. Equals to, and I'm going to have a look at our model fields, scroll up all the way to the top, and see what we've got available for us, because it's going to need to be a list. Because what I'm thinking of doing is doing a one to many field. And what about a slug? Is that what that actually means? In his terms, a slug is a short label for something containing only letters, numbers, underscores, and hyphens. They're generally used in URLs, like a char field. You can specify. No, that's not what we want. store a list of one to many relationships. Django's. In one-to-one relationships, you need to use a foreign key. The combination for the components of the question you have. The current structure in your working example allows each dude to have one number and each number to belong to multiple dudes. So each dude has one number. Or maybe I want a many-to-many relationship. Anyway, I can look at this later. So many to many or one to many for search jobs. I'll have a look and see how to properly implement that. Right, blog post content. Let's just do this. Content. It's going to be a chart field as well. And the max length, do we have to specify max length for chart fields? Maybe this isn't the best way to do this. Maybe we're going to have to do it with a file. How to store. How to store. How to store blog post data. Blog post content. Django. There we go. You can just use the Django. Good editor. Oh, this is actually a. It's not what I'm after. We're gonna have to have a look at this later. We're just gonna leave it at 20,000 for now. Hopefully that doesn't blow up. It should be fine. So we've got title, description, the image, we've got the date. So we'll just do blog post date equals models dot date. Date field's fine, and we quickly look at, yeah. All right, so we got, so we've got, all right, so date field, auto now, auto now. So it automatically sets the field to now every time the object is saved. Let's modify, automatically sets the field to now when the object is first created. Useful for creation timestamps, used is not just a default value that you can override. So even if you set the value, should it be ignored? That's what we want. So auto now add is equal to true. Date auto now add, make that a true. Created, and then blog post last updated. So auto now. Auto now automatically sets the field to a new time the object is saved. Useful for last modified, Auto now, that's what we want. And then auto now sets the field cool when it's created. So blog post created, that's last updated. The content, that's great. What else? It was just the search terms, I think. I'll probably think of something else later. But probably just the search terms, but I need to look at exactly how to implement that. We use the blog post content right now so we can test, you know, with the serializers and all the rest of it to get everything working. So I'm going to quit out of that. I'm going to first I'm going to save this file. I'm going to make migrations. Yes, provide one of detail, and we'll just make that. That's not going to like that because of the date fields and all the rest of it. Exits. Migrations. Yeah, I'm going to do that. I'm just going to quickly run the server. I'm going to delete everything currently. I think it's going to let me get in there because we already messed around with it. Yep, that's frustrating. Image, content, and those other fields are not in here because they don't need to be. So cool. That's exactly what we wanted. So we've created the model. Just for a sec. All right, so we've created the model. Confirm the user model works or it doesn't. So I'll leave that as O. Add the Django REST framework. So just make sure we got the right package. So it's all one word. Pip env install Django REST framework. Pow. And and it's the Django course headers. Cool. That's done. Right, added that. Course headers. So just need to add both of those modules in our settings.py. And just make sure I get everything. So we need to bring in our API. API. Django. Oh no, it's just REST framework. And headers. Cool. I do need to add a middleware for the headers right here. Just above the common middleware, which is just there. Add that in. So that's all sorted now. And that's sorted. There was one more thing I needed to do. I need to add the permissions and the allowed origins. I'll copy and paste from here. So we're just basically saying a local host is allowed to access this server, make requests to this server, and the permissions were basically saying that anyone, anyone that's authenticated can read, post and delete, but if they're not, they can only read the data. Which is fine for what we've got on here. There's more comprehensive permission policies that you can set, but I'm going to do that quite a bit later. So that's all set up. We need to add the blog API views and the URLs. So if I go to cool, All right. So what I'll do is I will do the views first. So I'm going to go to my API. Just make sure my API is added. Yes. API views. We'll also add urls.py like so. Get into our views. Get rid of all of this. So we need to, from REST, from REST framework, we want to import generic views or generics. And we have a situation here, import REST framework could not be resolved. I think I'm going to have to Django REST framework. Need to make sure that's the right one. Yeah, REST framework. We want to install these as well. Did I save that settings folder? Activities, you probably want to REST. Have used I've added the default permissions. This is all fine, it should be working. But we do need to add markdown support. It's right there. So I'm just going to quickly pip env install markdown and the filtering, because it's definitely on the filtering as well. For our search, see, it's doing the same thing in my other one as well. There must be something wrong with the path or something like that. Pip env install. Damn it. Django filter. And back to my views. Next we want to, from log dot models is it dot blog? No, it's path blog. Models import blog posts. Yeah, there's something going on here. That should be working. There shouldn't be any issues with that. Not sure exactly why that's happening. I wonder if that's what it's doing. I don't think so. I'm not sure exactly why it's having a look at that. All right, so from the models, so what are we doing? So it's the views. So from the models, we got the generic views from the Django REST framework. We've imported the blog post. So now what I want to do is we do need to still create the serializer. But what we can do is set the query set parameter. And the way we just need to create a class. And I'm going to make this blog post list. Yeah. Blog post list, and I'm going to pass in the generics dot list create API view. Like so. That off, and then we're going to give it query set is equal to our model dot objects dot all, and that is the method all. Cool. We do still need to specify our serializer. Class, but first we need to create our serializer. So how about I do that right now? And we're in views, that we're in API. API, create a new folder, and we're going to call that serializers. .py. Cool. I'm just going to open this up. So we need to bring in our models again. So we need to specify, we need to create a class, pass in serializers.model serializer. Then we need to create another class within inside that class meta, and then specify the model we would like to use, and then also the fields within that model to pass through. So we need to bring in, so from let's bring this over. And from portfolio backend dot model blog dot models import blog posts, which is cool. So then class blog post serializer. We're going to pass in serializers dot model model serializer. And we're going to have another class of meta. Model. We're going to specify the model for the serializer, which is going to be blog posts, and then the fields, which is going to pass them in. So we can have our models, serializer. All right, so we got the blog post title. So description. Image. I'm thinking when it was last updated, and the content itself. Cool. So that's a serializer set up. Cool, so that's all set up. So we've got our, so I'm just going to save that. We've got our serializer, we've got our view, and our serializer class is now equal to the serializer class that we just created. And we need to import that in from portfolio backend dot API dot serializers import blog post serializer, and we'll pass that in. Actually, we can just do this. Cool. Bring that in, and that's it for the view serializer. So now I just need to hook up the URL. Which is fine. So just checking a few things here. Need to add the media URL and add our, so first I just want to, first we'll add the URL for the API. So we need to import, so from the Django URLs, Django.urls, import path. I think there's something wrong with this linter path. So from our views, we want to, so because we're in this, we can just do .views, and we can import our blog post view. That was our list, get the list. And then we want to give ourselves an app name, and this is for the namespace equals API. Our URL patterns is equal to a list of URLs. And the first one we would like to do is path, and we want to make URL I think blog posts. Blog posts / and then we want to specify our the information that we want to present. So blog post list dot as underscore view. Yep, that's correct. Then we want to add the namespace. Name equals, and we'll name this so we'll name this blog post list. Cool. That's it for right at this second. So yeah, that'll be it for right at this second. So we need to go into our main application and we need to set up the URL for the API. So just making sure I've got all this sorted. Settings, keep doing settings, URLs. So we've got that. We've got the Django URLs path. I need to add include in there as well. I want to bring in the settings because we need to change the URL. Well, every time we make a request for an image from our database, it's going to append, or it's only going to give us a portion of the URL. So we need to add the media URL there as well. So it knows where to find everything. And we also need to bring in our config static. What's it doing? Yeah, static URL for our static files. So I'm just going to copy this over. Nice and easy. And then add our if debug, append our the URLs to the media URL. Also, the media URL is the base URL, and then where the image is gets appended to that. And then we need to path API / include API dot URLs. So API, I keep forgetting the string. Cool. And so we need to name the namespace to this. Which would just be our API. And we need to bring in our app name at the top here. Save that. Cool, so this actually should work now. So if I can just go to migrate, make migrations. So we got an issue, no module named portfolio backend dot log in serializers and view and URL. No. Yeah, serializers. Let's have a look. Let's just get rid of this because I think it's the linter that's ruin this up. Let's try it again. Yeah, it is. Use URL. Yeah, because that's in there. That was good. And then we'll migrate. Cool. So then if we run our server, and I go to /API, go 404. I believe that's because we're not displaying everything, because we have nothing mapped to that API, this URL. So if I do blog posts, we should see all of the blog posts within our database. Oh, cool. So here you can see that I'm signed in, and because I'm signed in, I can add, and so get the data, delete the data. If I actually sign out, there's something I need to do for the login here. I forget what it is. Let's have a look. Static. Where is it? Just in the admin. Use. Remember I had to add something. OC. Where is it? I think it's this. Which is in the main URLs. I think it's this one. What's the issue? Fresh. There we go. And we can log out. Cool. So as you can see, we can only read the data. But if we log in, that's gmail.com. I forget the password. I think it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. No, it's AAA. There we go. We can post as well. Awesome. Cool. So I know I'm making another. I keep doing this, but I keep forgetting to commit our changes. But I'll just quickly fill this in. So we created our blog API view. We connected the API view to the URL. We have added the serializers or serializer. We've added the blog to the admin, created our fake blog post. So the last thing to do is add Axios to the front end. I'm actually going to leave this one out just so it's congruent with the title of this video, as I want to keep the back end and the front end separate in the videos. So what I might do is we'll fix this up tomorrow, and that way I can continue on with the front end. But what I might do is we might create the model for the portfolio projects. In that one, we'll have pretty much the same thing: description, the search. That way, it'll allow me to look up these couple of things that I really need to figure out before I progress any further. And then I'll work on that. And then once that's done, then I'll move back to the front end. That way, it's sort of all sorted. Because then I'll implement all that stuff to display all that data, and then continue on. Then we'll move back to the back end and implement the JWT tokens, and probably OAuth 2 as well. And I can also work on the permission settings for everything, because right at this moment, no one will be able to add any posts to the blog. And I will just probably add everything through the Django admin interface. So look, that's it. Actually, let's commit everything that we've done. I'm just going to get up GitHub repositories, and we need to create a new repository. So we'll make this portfolio backend. Cool. Backend description, make this private. Create repository. Copy that URL, and I'm just going to drag this over. So ls cd cool. So we want to do git init. Awesome. Then I want to do git commit -m first init. Now we're going to add that git add -all, and we're going to make the branch git branch. Is it main? It says main here, but then when I commit the other ones, it's not. I'm very OCD master. And go to my backend. Git branch dash master git note add origin, and then paste in our URL, and then git push -u master. I think I need to create. Looks like it's gonna have to be. Sure, didn't. Why is it doing this? Why? Had this happen to me before? I forget. Um, try and see if I can find something. Grr. Maybe you just need to commit. Oh, is it because I'm trying to add everything first? Let's do the git remove. Git. Run. Do not list remove files only removed from the index. I don't want to do that. Git add all damn files. Done. Git commit. Yeah. Because I was trying to push the wrong branch. Jeez. So go back to GitHub. And boom, there's a code. Cool. So yeah, look, that's it for this video. So basically, we got everything sorted. Got a couple of bugs. I've got a few things to have a look at before we can move forward. Axios point tomorrow. So yeah, we'll continue. Where are we at? I'll continue to look up, research everything for the back end to finish building off the back end. Once I finish building up the back end, then I'll move into the front end so I don't mess with the, so I keep everything in the same order, because later I just want to basically document my progress. And yeah, that way it's all incoherent, and then that way if I need to go back, I can re-edit all the videos and the rest of it, and it's congruent. So yeah, that's it for today, and yeah, happy coding.